So, you want to learn how to air dribble. You're tired of watching that smurf lay down the wrath of the sun every game you join. Luckily for you, I've been training for the past 4 years to show you the do's and don'ts on everything air dribble related. So just sit back, grab your controller, and get ready to train. First things first, we need to get some disclaimers out of the way. You aren't going to master this mechanic overnight. This mechanic is very useful in mid and high rank, but still takes many hours of training and practice to make perfect. I personally have over 3,500 hours and I still fuck up sometimes. Got it? Cool. Let's move on. Practice makes perfect. This goes for just about everything in Rocket League, whether it's learning how to air dribble or just as simple as changing a few controls around. If you don't practice, you won't get better. So practice! Let's get into the juicy stuff now. I get asked a lot on stream what's best for controls and camera settings when trying to get better at Rocket League. The simple answer is do whatever you're more comfortable with, but don't be afraid to change some around for a week or just try a different flow. Personally, the only controls that I changed are the following. I changed my drift and manual rotate to LB so I can hit wave dashes much easier. I also set rotate right to RB. Everything else is default. Also, if you guys are curious, here's my current camera settings. Once you get a control scheme and camera settings that you are familiar with, we can head over to step 2. Before you even touch the ball, you should have a very familiar feeling with maneuvering your car while airborne. There's a few training routines you can add to your warm-up that I personally use every day. Starting from the goal line, fly up and try to land in the opposing goalpost upside down in the corner. I know that's a lot to take in. While you're in the air, try to throw in some spins for a little extra sauce. But the goal we're focusing on most here is to keep your car at a consistent altitude and landing upside down. Doing this allows you to practice maneuvering your car in the air while also keeping in mind that you should land the aerial when you're done making the shot. Starting from any sidewall, you should launch your car across over the middle of the field and land on the opposing wall. The same mechanic principles apply here, where you're trying to keep your altitude the same all the way through, but also landing the aerial, except in this one, we really need to focus on the start of the launch, because this is how you'll be starting your air dribble. So getting familiar with rotating your car off the wall can be super useful here. Feel like you've got those two down? Well, it's time to put it to the test. Now we're going to include the ball in step number 3. We're going to be starting on the wall for our air dribbles, and to set up an air dribble from the wall, there's a few things that need to be constant. Your speed must match the speed of the ball. If you're too fast, the ball will go flying out in front of you and you won't be able to catch up to it for a clean air dribble. If you're too slow, the ball will just roll over your car and you'll miss your opportunity to make an air dribble in the first place. You should angle the hit correctly. I recommend you practice this above all else when it comes to practicing an air dribble, because if you mess up your first shot, you'll most likely mess it up, or worse, miss the shot altogether. So be sure to practice this for a bit. Jump as you touch the ball. If you jump before you touch the ball, you'll most likely just hit the ball straight into the corner, and if you jump after you touch the ball, you'll either miss the ball completely, or just set up an unintentional pass play to the other team. Once you have those 3 points comfortably down, the next part is where that aerial car control comes into play. As you launch off the wall, your car will most likely fly out with no control whatsoever on where it's going. So you have to use the aerial car control training and try to catch the ball per se. It can be best described like this. As you jump off the wall, focus on getting the nose of your car on the bottom corner of the ball. Once you can consistently land that first hit, you then continue to feather and pulse your boost until you've reached the stage where you want to start your dive to score. When you start the dive, you won't really have much time to react to anyone or anything that's going on, so it's good to have a game plan ahead of time. I generally use the hood of my car, like we practiced in the net-to-net upside down landing training, to bring the ball upside down in the dive at max speed. Throw a changeup to the defender. When starting a ground to air dribble, the process is very similar to the air dribble off the wall. The only thing that's really different is the setup. You see the ball bouncing in front of you with enough space in between you and the goal to basically do whatever you want. Instead of just banging the ball off into space, we're going to wait for it to bounce, and when it does, we're going to do our best to match the speed of the bounce with our own jump. Once you can jump at the same time as the ball, then you should focus on multiple soft touches feathering your boost to bring the ball upwards. Once you have the ball at a comfortable position, you can start your custom dive to score just like we did off the wall. And honestly, that's really it. I promise if you practice all these points, you will become much more confident in your ability to air dribble from any position on the field. There's just something about air dribbles that's just beautiful. Being able to decide a factor of a game, but also doing it in a stylish and custom fashion makes you feel so confident in your ability to play. I hope you all enjoyed and found this video useful. If you guys have any questions at all, you can either leave a comment down below or pop into my stream on Twitch sometime. I stream just about every single day, and I'd love to help out some new players that are genuinely wanting to learn on how to be a better player. So be sure to leave me a follow over there as well. As always guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.